infidelidade. Quem nasceu pra ser fiel, então vai ser amante. Relacionamento sem crush nem fidade. Quem nasceu pra ser fiel, então vai ser amante.
Untoz Sports is sponsored by Temu. Shop like a billionaire. Use our code to get €100 in coupons.
Here the game never stops. From the locker room to the pitch, from tactics to epic moments, everything that happens in football is here. Untoz Sports. Live the game. Subscribe now and get in the game.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Now I believe I can have it. Ooh, ooh, Temu. Ooh, ooh, Temu. All of my wishes came true. Shop like a billionaire. Shop like a billionaire. Ooh, ooh, Temu.
Use our code to receive €100 coupons and free gifts.
Life, like the beautiful game, is a series of first time. From my first pair of boots to my first goal. Crypto is a change in the game and it's time to get on board. After all, it's a first time for everything.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich. I feel like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. Let's go. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I get it straight from the makers. I'm shopping like a billionaire.
Use our code to receive €100 coupons.
Untoz Sports is sponsored by Temu. Shop like a billionaire. Use our code to get €100 in coupons.
Dream feels like magic.
Untoz Sports is sponsored by Temu. Shop like a billionaire. Use our code to get 100 euros in coupons.
Dream feels like magic.
Here the game never stops. From the locker room to the pitch, from tactics to epic moments, everything that happens in football is here. Untoz Sports. Live the game. Subscribe now and get in the game.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich. I feel like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. Let's go. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I get it straight from the makers. I'm shopping like a billionaire.
Use our code to receive 100 euros coupons and free gifts.
Life, like the beautiful game, is a series of first time. From my first pair of boots to my first goal. Crypto is a change in the game and it's time to get on board. After all, it's a first time for everything.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Now I believe I can have it. Ooh, ooh, Temu. Ooh, ooh, Temu. All of my wishes came true. Shop like a billionaire. Shop like a billionaire. Ooh, ooh, Temu.
Use our code to receive 100 euros coupons and free gifts.
Feels like a
Untoz Sports is sponsored by Temu. Shop like a billionaire. Use our code to get 100 euros in coupons.
dream, feels like magic.
Here the game never stops. From the locker room to the pitch, from tactics to epic moments, everything that happens in football is here. Untoz Sports. Live the game. Subscribe now and get in the game.
Feels like a
Untoz Sports is sponsored by Temu. Shop like a billionaire. Use our code to get 100 euros in coupons.
dream, feels like magic.
Official product of this competition.
Last time around, where they finished third and lost the cup final to Crystal Palace. They then crashed out of the new format Club World Cup to Al Hilal of Saudi Arabia in the last 16. Well, let me bring you the team news from today. For Wolves, it's Jose Sarr in goal, back three of Matt Doherty, Emmanuel Agbadou and Totti Gomez. With four in midfield, Kijana Hoiver expected to be one of the wing-backs, along with David Muller-Wolf, the new arrival from AZ Alkmaar, with João Gomez and Andre sitting in the centre of midfield. Then we've got Jean Rickner Bellegarde and Marshall Manetzi behind Jorgen Strand Larsen up front. For Manchester City, 3 new faces for them. James Trafford, returning to the club where he was a junior after signing from Burnley in the summer. He starts in goal with Rico Lewis at right back, John Stones and Ruben Diaz in the centre-back pairing, with Aït-Nouri making his league debut for City at left back. Nico Gonzalez and Tijani Reinders, new arrival from AC Milan, are the sitting midfielders, although Reinders is expected to push on. And then we've got Jeremy Doku and Oscar Bob either side of Bernardo Silva, behind frontman, of course, Erling Haaland. So 2 Norwegian centre forwards today. Which one will shine in this particular contest? Our referee for this afternoon is Jared Gile, the Australian-born official. He'll be assisted by Scott Ledger and Mark Perry. David Webb is the 4th official on the sideline, with Michael Salisbury tucked away at Stockley Park for all things VAR controversy. So we're getting ready to open up. We've got a round of or a minute's applause going on in the centre circle for Diogo Jota, who was obviously formerly of this parish, with a lovely banner saying "We'll remember you when you walk in fields of gold," which is a lovely tribute to the former Wolves and Liverpool forward who tragically died over the summer break. I'll just allow that round of applause to run its course. A lovely round of applause in memory of Diogo Jota. Portuguese manager Roberto Martinez among the crowd today for that tribute. So Manchester City having a last huddle before the start of another Premier League campaign for them. We'll bring you up to date with everything that happened earlier on today as we go on. City players taking a moment to applaud their travelling fans, and it's going to be Manchester City who will get us underway in the first half, kicking from left to right. Bernardo Silva is the man over the ball for City. As I say, 3 new faces: James Trafford, Ryan Aït-Nouri and Tijani Reinders. And Oscar Bob back from an injury-plagued season last time around. And Bernardo Silva gets us underway, sends it back to Trafford, who's all in sort of cerise pink. He gets an early touch. His long ball forward is volleyed away by Agbadou, and it travels all the way back to Trafford, who chests it down in front of him. And then just plays a little short pass to John Stones. Stones to Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz once more. And City advance forward down the left-hand side. Here is Jeremy Doku, very quick winger, tucking the ball inside. Ball's played to this far side now, and Oscar Bob, who's on the opposite wing, the right-hand side for City. Stones with another touch. Here's Diaz once more. Ryan Aït-Nouri lays it back to Trafford. Wolves doing well to press Aitnori back up the pitch. They know the danger of him getting forward on that left-hand side better than anyone. Stones' attempted ball forward is half blocked, but it runs to Bernardo Silva. He gets it out wide to Jeremy Doku. Doku in his pink boots, taking on Hoiver, gets it into the middle and it's headed behind. Needed to be headed behind too at the far post. It was a lovely cross from Doku, who got the better of Hoiver, squeezed the ball over, and it was put out of harm's way by David Muller-Wolf. Good first intervention by the young Dutchman. It's led to the first corner of the game on the right-hand side. An in-swinger from Bernardo Silva, and it comes. It's headed away in the centre of the 6-yard box. I think that's Strand Larsen doing his defensive duties. Bernardo Silva picks it up again, the corner taker. Looks to get another cross in, fires it low across the box, and it's hooked away by Wolves onto this, or over this near touchline for a throw to Manchester City. And here is Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis to the near touchline again, and Oscar Bob, who runs back into his own half and slightly in field. Ruben Diaz now behind the centre circle for City. The visitors dominating the early possession of the ball, as we would expect them to do through most of the contest, really. Here is Ryan Aitnori getting it to Doku, who looks to take on his man, but this time Hoiver stands up well, gets the ball away, not very far though. City coming again quickly, and they've played it into a central area. Here is John Stones now for Manchester City, and Oscar Bob on this near touchline. Played it down the line. Reinders has got it by the byline. No flag at the moment. It's been put out of play, and it will be another. Oh, it's not a Manchester City corner because the flag's belatedly gone up against Reinders, who looks quizzically at the assistant on this near side. Raised eyebrows. Premier League debut for him. £34 million signing from AC Milan. His brother still plays in Dutch football. His brother Eliano. So it's very much a footballing family. Well, Strand Larsen headed that ball on, looking for Manetzi, but this time the flag's gone up against the Wolves player, and it will be a free kick to Manchester City. And they move the ball quickly into the Wolves half. John Stones venturing forward. Here's Oscar Bob tucking the ball back to Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis sprays it right to left. Doku takes it in, takes on Hoiver again, gets the better of him. Andre is in the penalty area to do his defensive duties and clear. Manchester City are very much dominating possession inside this first 5 minutes. Nico Gonzalez tucks that ball forward, comes back into the City half to Ryan Aitnori. And here's Ruben Diaz. That's a loose one from him. Allows Wolves to venture forward. Here's Jean-Ric Bellegarde to the left of the penalty area. Ball into the area. Dangerous one. Cleared to the edge. Reinders can tidy up. He plays it into the left back area for Ryan Aitnori, but that was careless from City. Not a good pass from Ruben Diaz. Here's Nico Gonzalez in the meantime. The referee's whistle has gone for a foul, I think, and a free kick to Manchester City, but Diaz's pass was careless, and Bellegarde's ball in was dangerous. It was well defended in the end by Diaz, who atoned for his own error by sliding in with Strand Larsen, but you won't want to play too many balls like that in the rest of this game, because Wolves will relish any gifts offered to them. Totti Gomez dinks a ball forward over the halfway line, headed forward by Stones, but only into the path of João Gomez. That's a lovely ball out to the right-hand side, but Hoiver is beaten to it by Jeremy Doku, who was backtracking well, doing some of the dirty work. He's a very speedy winger. He wasn't afraid to get back and put in the tackle on that occasion. Manchester City have won a free kick just on the edge of the centre circle in Wolves territory for a trip on Nico Gonzalez. There is Stones. It's a bit tight in there from City. They've got it to Diaz, and now Ryan Aït-Nouri on the halfway line. Doku looks like he wants to spring forward, but he didn't in that particular case, and it went to Gonzalez. Here's Reinders. Reinders looks to his right, finds Oscar Bob in a little bit of space. Bob plays the ball in front of himself, looks to run at the fullback but can't do so. Plays it back to Stones. Stones into the area. Oh, Doku stretched out a foot, couldn't reach it. Went out for a goal kick, but another decent move from City. It's a good ball in from Stones, just had a little bit too much on it. Doku, I think, was looking to direct it back across the area into the direction of Erling Haaland, but couldn't get a boot to it. Pep Guardiola pacing the technical area already, chewing hard, dressed in his traditional black t-shirt. As Wolves come forward once more on the far side. They've tucked the ball back to Hoiver. Here is Agbadou. And Agbadou sends it to his goalkeeper, who sells Totti short. João Gomez tries to get in, but referee's pulled it up for a foul by City. Bit lucky there, Wolves. They played themselves into trouble. It was a poor pass out from Jose Sarr to Totti Gomez, who I think handled it. And Erling Haaland was calling for a handball. Reinders went in on João Gomez and was penalised for the foul, but the officials seem to have missed the handball by Totti Gomez. And the Wolves defender is fortunate. That's a couple of sloppy passes out of defence by both sides early in this game, and they've given it away again here, Wolves. That's a poor pass out to Doku on the far side. He has to retrieve it, which breaks the momentum of the City attack. But here's Aït-Nouri, and now Reinders playing it to the far side. Can Bob keep it in? No, he can't. Skips away from him, and Bob has to put his hands out in front of him as he was running into the boards. Otherwise, he might have been propelled over the top of them. It's quite some talent watching from the stands today. Phil Foden among those not fit for Manchester City. Quite an injury list for early in the season, it has to be said. A number of players not fit. Among those that are is Munetsi for Wolves, who's made some progress down the right hand side, but wanted the throw, didn't get it from the official. Aït-Nouri took it for City. And now John Stones approaches the halfway line for the visitors. Rico Lewis. Lewis goes all the way back to Trafford. No real options forward there for him. Most of the City side seem to be in pink boots today. Not all of them, but most of them. Not sure if there's anything overly significant about that. But it does give a certain amount of symmetry. There's Stones in the centre circle, advancing forward. Plays it to his right, Rico Lewis. Lewis plays it forward. Bob was contesting it with Muller Wolf, but Muller Wolf did well actually. Got his body between Bob and the ball, and it was allowed to run out for a goal kick. Muller Wolf was thought of highly at AZ Alkmaar from where he came in the summer. He likes to get forward on occasion. Can be a little rash at times, but generally a pretty solid acquisition. He's got big boots to fill in, Ryan Aït-Nouri, of course. City making progress through the centre circle with Nico Gonzalez. Here's Doku. Oh, he played it back to Gonzalez, but Gonzalez had run ahead of the ball. That allows City to clear. Bellegarde in the centre circle. Strand Larsen plays it out wide, but I think he's overplayed it. He's played it too far forward. Couldn't be retrieved by a Wolves player. And City are back in possession with John Stones, just outside his own box. Plays a little 1-2, hits the ball up midway inside his half. Here's Tijani Reinders offering himself again. Ruben Diaz. Diaz to Rayan Aitnouri. Doku came short that time. Haaland was looking to make a run through the middle. I'm not sure he's touched the ball yet, Erling Haaland, in the first 12 minutes of this game. Remains 0-0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service and the Flash Score app here at Molineux. Ball played out to this right-hand side. Bob takes it in nicely. Looks to run at Muller-Wolf once more. Wolf does well. Forces him to go back to Rico Lewis. Here's Stones looking to put a ball in the box. Haaland jumps, just clears him, headed back into the box, but Silva couldn't get a boot on it. It goes through to Jose Sarr. Sarr in his 5th season here at Wolves, after signing from Olympiacos. He previously had time with Porto. Seems to have got the nod at the start of the season ahead of Sam Johnston. In the meantime, we've got an injury to one of the Wolves players. It's Andre that's gone down. Seems to be holding his face. I'm not sure what that was about, but he looks a little glassy, I have to say. Let's see what happened here. Well, he went in for the challenge with Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez won the ball, and I think maybe Gonzalez's shoulder came into the side of Andre's head, so concussion protocols are being observed here. While that happens, I can fill you in on what happened earlier today. Aston Villa and Newcastle drew 0-0 in the lunchtime kick-off. Ezri Konsa was sent off in that game in the second half for Aston Villa, but a Newcastle side, obviously without Alexander Isak, who's in dispute with the club over a potential move to Liverpool, couldn't find a way through, and it finished goalless. A great start for Sunderland on their return to the Premier League. They thumped Graham Potter's West Ham 3-0. Great result for them. And Tottenham won 3-0 against another one of the newly promoted sides, Burnley, thanks to a couple of goals from Richarlison and one for Brennan Johnson. A couple of assists there for Mohamed Kudus on what was his league debut for Tottenham. And Brighton and Fulham finished 1-1, basically because Muniz came on in the second half and scored a stoppage time leveller to cancel out Brighton's first half goal. So that one finished all square. So our concussion check has just about been completed here as the City substitutes watch on, including Nathan Ake and Emmanuel Akanji. So I think we're about ready to get going again here at Molineux, this grand old stadium, built many moons ago now, in 1899, last renovated in 2011-12, 31,750 capacity. The ball is back in play, and it's back with Jose Sarr, who's played it to his left, hooked forward by Wolves. That's come off a City shirt. I think that's Ruben Diaz, who's limping back into his position, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and make sure he's not done himself a mischief. It's a throw to Wolves, short of the halfway line on this near side, the Wolves left. Thrown short to Strand Larsen, back to David Muller-Wolf. Strand Larsen again. Battling for it was Bellegarde. I think Haaland got his first touch of the ball then, as City broke up that attack. It's out of play for a City throw just inside the Wolves half. Yeah, Erling Haaland not seen much of the ball at all so far. His compatriot Strand Larsen's had more touches for Wolves, but a lot of those have been coming deep to try and link up with his midfield. No real chances of note as yet. Ball back with John Stones, who has to organise his feet and find Rico Lewis. Lewis to Diaz. Diaz short of the centre circle, central position. Here is Rico Lewis to the right of that circle. Haaland comes deep to the halfway line to get a touch and play it back to Nico Gonzalez. Haaland was on the move forward there, but he didn't get the ball played to him. Here's Oscar Bob on the right-hand side once more, faced by Muller-Wolf. He takes him on, Angel Gomez. Here's Rico Lewis. He can pull this back, and it's come off a Wolf's foot out of Agbadou and behind for a corner. That was much more progressive from City. Bob linking up well with Rico Lewis. Lewis got between João Gomez and Totti to pull the ball back, but Agbadou was well positioned at the near post to concede the corner. So another corner from the right for Bernardo Silva. Into the box it goes, headed away at the near post. City back in possession though, and they can give it back to the corner taker, Bernardo Silva. Another dangerous ball into the box. Haaland is up for it, but heads off target. And City can't keep the ball in, and it's out for a goal kick. Well, you would have said normally that Haaland getting onto the end of a ball like that might have been able to do a little better. It may have taken a deflection off the defender in front of him, or maybe he was unsighted, but he was well off target there. Not a great start to this game for Erling Haaland. Still fancied by many to be the Golden Boot winner. As we come to the 18th minute, and a round of applause for Diogo Jota, because that's the shirt number he wore when he was here as a player. Wolves fans generous in their tribute. Wolves' attack there was broken up by Trafford coming out to gather the ball at the feet of Strand Larsen. City back in possession in the centre circle. They work it left. Here's Jeremy Doku. Doku tucking it down the line. It's a good ball. Can they get a ball in? Surely Haaland. No, he's headed over the bar. Oh my goodness. Erling Haaland, the goal was gaping. Goalkeeper out of position. Ball played across. And Haaland gets underneath the header and heads it over the crossbar. Well, when you're as good a forward as Erling Haaland, that's a sitter. And the Norwegian has missed it. My word, that is a glaring miss. Oscar Bob, who was behind him, put his hands on his head. He couldn't believe it. Everyone was waiting for the net to bulge. And Haaland has missed a sitter. Wolves are caught offside on the counter-attack. Manetzi went too early. He protests to the assistant referee, but he was well off. Well offside. Yeah, a good yard offside. Strand Larsen was going through the middle, waiting for a tuck back, but the flag put an end to all of that. But that is a glaring miss by Erling Haaland, it really is. If you see that on television later, you won't believe that he missed it. Well, can City create another chance, either for Haaland or someone else? I'm sure they will in the course of the 90 minutes, but Doku here is hustled off the ball. Wolves are biting into the tackle, and they've won the ball back here. They've played the ball down the left-hand side, looking for Muller-Wolf. It was well cut out by City, who've won themselves a throw just short of the halfway line on this near side there right. It's played back to Rico Lewis. Lewis plays it forward. City in possession with Rico Lewis, Bernardo Silva. That was a bit of a lazy ball forward. Reinders couldn't make the most of it. City haven't really hit stride yet. Here's João Gomez trying to break forward. Finds Strand Larsen, and Strand Larsen's brought to ground by Ruben Diaz, and that'll be a free kick to Wolves. And there are signs of frustration here from the Manchester City players. Not just that Haaland miss, I don't think, but just the fact that they haven't really clicked into gear as yet. Wolves have got in and around them, made life difficult. They've not created a lot so far, the men in old goal, but they might now. They've got this free kick. It's just to the left of the centre circle in Manchester City territory. They've sent plenty of players forward. There's a line of players about 12 or 15 yards outside the Manchester City penalty area. It's going to be Bellegarde to loft it forward. He does so. Has he overhit that, or will Totti Gomez retrieve it? Gomez hooks it across the goal. Away by Bernardo Silva. Back to Bellegarde. Bellegarde sends it right. They can still get forward here, but rather a heavy touch from Hoiver allows City to get it over the far touchline for a throw to Wolves, just inside the City half. But as we reach the midway point of the first half, I think Wolves will be pretty happy. They had a let-off with Erling Haaland's glaring miss. They play a ball forward here, and Trafford's out quickly to head the ball out over the far touchline for a throw. Looks as if Wolves had beaten the offside trap on that occasion. They pick the ball up again, the home side. In their own half with Agbadou. Here's Totti. Totti to Andre, who seems to have shaken off that blow to the head in the first half. Only 28% possession for Wolves, but they're coming forward here with Manetzi. Strand Larsen's in the middle. It's pulled back, and João Gomez, I think it was, that was bursting onto the ball. Didn't manage to get a shot in. He burst onto the ball, but he took a heavy touch. I think he was trying to gather it in so that he could have a shot against Trafford, but the ball escaped him, and Trafford claimed it. But Wolves showing a little bit of ambition, getting a few players into the penalty area. Perhaps growing in confidence because of City's inability to really hurt them so far. Here's Doku trying to do that for City. He had a bright first 10 minutes, but haven't seen a lot of him since. Here's Nico Gonzalez. John Stones, Oscar Bob. Retreating back towards the halfway line though. Wolves holding their shape. Tijani Reinders got a touch. But again, City back on the halfway line. Here's Rico Lewis. John Stones on this near touchline, the City right. Stones running in field. Gives it to Lewis. Here's Tijani Reinders. And now Oscar Bob. Bob back to Reinders. That's good from him. Can he find a way through? Sorted his feet well, got it into the box, but it's too far ahead of Haaland. And Sarr comes out to claim. That was good feet from Reinders. Munetzi's picked up the long ball out though. Looking to find Strand Larsen in the middle. Slide challenge from Ryan Aït-Nouri. Out for a throw on the far side. Munetzi seems to be the out ball for Wolves on that right hand side. Trying to expose the fact that Ryan Aït-Nouri likes to venture forward, trying to get in behind him. He recovered well there, the former Wolves man, to deny his ex-teammate. But it looks a useful tactic for Wolves. A couple of times the offside flags come to City's aid. But they look dangerous there in that position. Here's Agbadou once more. Standing on the ball, giving it to Andre, who tries to make progress forward. Bernardo Silva gets a tackle in, as does Doku, but Doku's been penalised for a foul. So Wolves take the free kick quickly, get a ball in. Here's Strand Larsen, great challenge by Ruben Diaz. Breaks out to the edge of the area. That was really good from Diaz, but here's another ball in, and Munetzi's headed it home. Wolves have taken the lead at Molineux. Oh, well, they thought they had. The flag's gone up from the assistant. VAR will check this. Let's have a look. Strand Larsen's original effort was blocked by Ruben Diaz. It was played backwards and it's played in, and Manetzi is a yard offside. But City were caught out a little there. I'm not sure they deliberately played the offside. And the initial ball in was threatening for Strand Larsen as well. So Manchester City with a few issues here. They've been exposed a couple of times down the left side of their defence. And City haven't created a lot other than Haaland's glaring headed miss. But it remains 0-0. Doherty's been penalised for a challenge on Jeremy Doku. Referee's come across and said no more of that. I think Doherty thought for a minute he might get a booking for that. And I think on another day he might have done. That might be first day leniency. But Doku was wrestled to the ground there by Doherty. So it's a free kick which Bernardo Silva's going to take. City could do with creating some threat here. 27.5 minutes gone at Molineux. Wolves 0, Manchester City 0. Bernardo Silva with the free kick from the left. Just trying to see how far from the goal it is. It's probably 30 yards out on the angle. Almost level with the left-hand edge. Bernardo Silva plays it in. It's a poor one. It's headed away to the edge of the area. Reinders to Oscar Bob. Can Bob get a cross in? He's dinked it in, but I think it's straight into the hands of Jose Sarr. Another poor delivery from Manchester City. They've had a few balls in, particularly from the right-hand side, which have not been of the quality you would expect from the 10-time Premier League champions. Manchester City get the ball back in their own half. Oh, that's a strong challenge, but the referee says a fair one. Seth Gomez going forward. Here's Bellegarde looking for room for the shot. It's come through. Here's a chance. Saved by Trafford and hooked away by Manchester City. Well, that was a chance. I think that's Munetsi again, but the flag's up against him. It wouldn't have counted. Trafford didn't know that and was out at the feet of the wide man to make the save. Once again, Munetsi getting himself into a dangerous position. He was offside, it wouldn't have counted. But Trafford did well to get out at his feet and make the stop. But Manchester City, who didn't look great last season, not looking great today. Almost gave the ball away again there down by their own touchline. They've managed to clear it to the halfway line and win a throw. But Pep Guardiola, that brow looks a little furrowed in this first half, and so it might be, because City have not been anywhere near their best so far. John Stones, can he change that? He's on the halfway line, right on the right-hand edge of the centre circle. Bernardo Silva to Ruben Diaz, who's played a couple of loose passes in this first half. Here's Reinders looking to ride the tackle of Andre. The referee says Reinders was fouled. It's a free kick, taken quickly by City. They're playing it out to the left-hand side, and Doku looking to get at Højbjerg, but Højbjerg stands his ground well. Got a foot in. It's back in City possession though. City trying to re-establish the control they had early in this game. Wolves have got more and more confident as the half has gone on. Here is Doku for City. Doku, faced by two defenders, gets it back to Ryan Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri gets the ball across the box, but I think again Sarr will claim that quite comfortably and runs out to the edge of his penalty area. Not really put him under any pressure with those high crosses, Jose Sarr. And Wolves, other than that miss by Haaland when he really should have scored, have been relatively comfortable so far. Strand Larsen contests it with Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez goes down. Referee's whistle goes. Strand Larsen acts as if he's completely bemused by the decision, but I think the foot was high. And Larsen is bellowing in the ear of the official now. Yeah, that foot is too high, I'm afraid. Ruben Diaz makes a bit of a meal of it, but the foot is too high. Here is Diaz. And now Nico Gonzalez. Diaz once more. Touched off. It's come to the right-hand side, and Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva back inside for Stones. Stones to Silva once more, who ventures down the right flank. Plays a little 1-2, gets into the penalty area. It'll break to the edge of the box, and Gonzalez, his shot is blocked by Manetzi. Ryan Aitnori then tries a shot, which is blocked by Agbadou. City putting on a little bit of pressure just past the half-hour mark. Here's Bob. Oscar Bob. Still got it in the penalty area on the right-hand side. Can he do anything with it? He's got it across the area. It's cleared away to the edge. And now fully cleared to the halfway line by Wolves. So good trickery in the area by Bob, but it didn't really come to anything in the end. Here's Ruben Diaz. And now it's worked its way out to Bob once more on the right-hand touchline. His ball into the box again is right across the far side, and Doku, who's almost had to shield his eyes from the sun to receive that ball. Nico Gonzalez back to Doku once more. Faced by Hoyever once again. Ryan Aitnori takes on his man, gets to the edge of the penalty area, goes down under challenge. Referee says play on. Doku once more to the left of the penalty area. Will he put in a deep cross, or will he go for the byline? Does neither. Ryan Aitnori. Now Nico Gonzalez. Will he have a strike from distance? Well, he did, but it was half blocked. Wolves cleared to the halfway line. And Diaz has to go all the way back to Trafford. Once again, City are frustrated. Struggling to find a way through this old goal defence. Wolves cheered on by their home support, acting as their 12th man. But forward comes City again. That ball's played through. Dangerous from Lewis, and Haaland tucks it in at the far post. Well, he missed a sitter earlier on, but he wasn't going to spurn that one. Rico Lewis did really well on the right-hand side of the box. Rolled it across, and Haaland was unfettered at the far post and just poked it home from 2 or 3 yards out. And Manchester City, after a largely frustrating first half, have got themselves in front. Wolves 0, Manchester City 1. Who else? Erling Haaland. Well, they played the ball out to this right-hand side. It was a good run by Reinders. He found Rico Lewis. And the ball's gone in at the far post. Now, has it gone in off the defender, looking at this again? Did it go in off Agbadou? No, it didn't. It came past Agbadou. And it was put home by Haaland. Agbadou tried to get a foot in because he knew Haaland was behind him. But he couldn't get anything on the ball. And Haaland, having missed one open goal in this half, wasn't going to miss 2. So he's up and running for the season. Should have 2 on the board, but he's got 1. And Manchester City lead at Molineux. Haaland with the double-fisted salute to the City fans. So Manchester City lead in the 34th minute. Can Wolves respond? Or will that release the handbrake a little bit for Manchester City? Here is Agbadou, who just couldn't get anything on that cross. Bellegarde, ball across the box, dangerously. Trafford does well. Slides out, reads the danger. Gets there before Strand Larsen. Was brought up here at Manchester City. Went away and got promoted with Burnley. Manchester City said, we like the look of that, we'll Have our former Youth Academy graduate back, please. Let's pay summer money to get him. And he appears to have seized the number 1 shirt. There's talk of Donnarumma, of course, coming in from PSG, but Trafford's got first run. He might have been busy again there if that cross had come in from the right from Hoiver, but it didn't. It was blocked off at source. Throw to Wolves, though, who have definitely had some joy down that right-hand side. Not been able to create a big chance as yet, and they've given the ball away in a key area here. City are 3-on-2, and they've played it through. Here's a chance for 2, and it is 2! That's a really good finish from Tiani Reinders. The debutant has opened his account for Manchester City, and they've struck twice in 3 minutes to take this game by the scruff. Wolves 0, Manchester City 2, and Tiani Reinders has struck a second blow for the men in blue. It's a lovely goal. He was involved in the build-up for the first goal. It's a slack pass from Egbadou, and it looked dangerous. It was a 3-on-2. It was played to Reinders, who hit it first time left-footed. He didn't give Sarr a chance to really set himself for the shot. Maybe Sarr thought the ball would be played to Haaland instead, but he didn't get a chance to set, and it was fired across him into the opposite corner, nestling in the side netting. It's a lovely strike. And when Tiani Reinders scores, his team usually wins. He scored 13 goals in AC Milan's colours last season, and it led to victory on 10 occasions. Well, Manchester City have clear water. They lead by 2-0 here at Molineux. And Tiani Reinders has quickly endeared himself to the City faithful. I know I'm saying this after the event now, but I've seen quite a lot of Tiani Reinders playing both for AC Milan and Holland. And I thought he was a very shrewd acquisition from Pep Guardiola, particularly given that Rodri is being eased back to fitness. Guardiola said that we'd see him very soon. I'm not sure it will be at Reinders' expense though, because he is a very good signing indeed. Here are City once more, looking like they smell blood now. And Oscar Bob is trying to get in down the right-hand side. Andre comes across to try and clear away. Wolf plays it down the left-hand side. City belt it out of play for a throw to Wolves. So it wasn't that long ago that Wolves had the ball in the net through Menezzi, but it was disallowed for offside. And now Manchester City are 2 up and cruising. Can the home side do anything about it? Well, we've got another stoppage because there's been a clash of heads, I think, which has led to one of the Wolves players going down, holding his head. And on this near side, it may be Jean-Ric Bellegarde who's gone down, so the physio's out on the pitch. Just to say, plenty of other matches coming your way in flash score over this weekend. Premier League action from the Emirates tomorrow, from Old Trafford tomorrow, as Manchester United face Arsenal. Plenty of that's the 4:30 kickoff tomorrow, of course, but other games too to be enjoyed before that. We've also got Chelsea against Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest against Brentford, and plenty of Dutch action too. Go Ahead Eagles against Ajax, and FC 20 against PSV Eindhoven, the Dutch champions. So plenty to enjoy. We're seeing again the Manchester City goals while we've got the stoppage. Lovely finish by Tiani Reinders. He goes to the fans.
almost apologetically, and says, well, this is me. Hope you like me. Well, I'm sure they will if he keeps side-footing the ball into the back of the net. They're back in play. Manchester City have picked up the ball again with Nico Gonzalez. And here's Ruben Diaz. Diaz to Ryan Aitnori. 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go in the first half. There'll be a fair amount of that because we've had a couple of concussion checks in this half, and also the goals, of course, so we may have 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time, I would think. Here's Gonzalez breaking into the area. It's taken 3 to stop him. He gets it back to Reinders, and his ball into the penalty area. Cannons off a Wolves shirt and behind for a corner. Reinders playing with a smile on his face. He's enjoying his debut. Well, I guess you would if you've scored and your side's 2 to the good. It's another corner on the right for City. Their corners seem to have arrived from that direction. So it's another in-swinger for Bernardo Silva. The experienced midfielder is going to put this one into the box again. Heads go up, skims off Haaland, comes to Doku. Doku twists and turns, looking to get another cross in. Has he won another corner, this time on the other side? Yes, he has. His attempt to get the ball in was blocked. In the meantime, Strand Larsen is down. He signals to one of his teammates that he seems to have a problem with his left foot. The referee's come across to pull him to his feet. Maybe the referee felt that Strand Larsen was trying to take some heat out of the game with his side under pressure. Officials have been told to watch for players wasting time, feigning injury. I'm not saying Strand Larsen was doing that, but he was keeping an eye. In comes the outswinger. It's headed forward by Diaz. Haaland gets a header in as well. Comes out as far as Reinders, who dinks it forward. Here is Doku now on the opposite flank. Lovely little back heel from Doku. Reinders tried to link up, and he's won the throw on that near side, the Manchester City right. Oscar Bob is going to take that throw. Actually, he isn't. He's decided to throw it to Lewis instead. City seems to be taking a lot of time over this throw. I'd be playing quickly if I were them. I think they've got Wolves well and truly on the ropes as we approach half-time. They may be able to sneak a third goal. Here's Haaland touching the ball back to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva to Diaz. Diaz now out to Doku on the left-hand side. He runs to the left edge. Here's Ryan Aitnori. Aitnori tucking the ball backwards. Comes to Stones. Ruben Diaz now turns his back on the challenge of Strand Larsen. Out to the left-hand side to Doku. We're in the final minute of the half. There will be time added on though, and quite a bit of it, I would think. Here's Rico Lewis on the right-hand side for City. To the right-hand touchline, and Bob, excuse me, Bob into the penalty area, half cleared away. It's come out as far as Stones. Stones now to Nico Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Rico Lewis. City seem content to sit on their 2 goals for the time being. They've given the ball away to David Muller-Wolf, and he's won a throw on this near side for Wolves. 5 minutes of time added on, so we're only 13 seconds into that, so plenty of time for something else to happen late in the half here at Molineux on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Here's Muller-Wolf, Strand Larsen. Manchester City break up that attack, but Muller-Wolf sets Wolves going forward again. It's got a bit scrappy on this near side, but Strand Larsen has it, plays it in field. Good ball. Rickner Bellegarde, he's got a man out wide on the right-hand side. Ball dinked into the area. Strand Larsen attempted to scoop it home. I think it may have hit him on the wrong foot. I think he went to scoop it in right-footed, and maybe it hit him on the left foot. And that's why there was no power in it, but that was good from Wolves. was a good ball in. I don't know that it would have counted anyway because Strand Larsen may have been in an offside position, but it did indeed hit him on the left foot as he tried to hit it right-footed. Manchester City tried to come out of defence, but they've lost the ball once more. Wolves have it on the right-hand side, played back into a central position, and Andre, he sprays it to the left. Muller-Wolf keeps it in play with his head, and the referee's decided that that's been put behind for a corner. Rico Lewis thought he was fouled. Player came in the back of him. The referee decided that the challenge was legitimate. I'm not sure it was. I think he barged Rico Lewis right in the back, Manetzi. So City may be aggrieved if Wolves score from this corner. Rico Lewis has just mouthed to the official, "What are you doing?" I'm not sure that's terribly wise. He could get booked for dissent for that. Should concentrate on defending this left-sided corner now that it's been given. Ball's played in. Trafford comes out and fists away, not very far. Here's a chance for João Gomez. He's dinked it back across, but Trafford's claimed it. Just above the head of Erling Haaland, who was getting ready to jump to head it away. Didn't need to, because his goalkeeper came. Trafford's done well in the first half. He's slid out at feet and he's claimed crosses well. So he's had a good half in City colours. Here comes City again with John Stones. He's got man ahead of him. Here's Reinders again, breaking into the penalty area, forcing Agbadou to concede the corner. He's had a really good half, the Dutchman. Very, very good indeed. Tijani Reinders, partially of Indonesian descent. On his mother's side, but his father is Dutch. Here's Bernardo Silva with another right wing corner. 3 and a bit minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Can City bag a third? In comes the corner. Haaland heads on, comes to Doku. Well, he didn't control it properly. I think the referee may have given handball against him if Wolves hadn't won the ball back. They've hoisted the ball out on the far side for a throw. Haaland won the header. It ran to Doku. Yeah, I'm not sure that handball wouldn't have been given against him if he'd managed to scoop that in. It looked like a handball. Certainly got himself into an awkward position with his arm prominent. But Manchester City, after a frustrating first half an hour, where Haaland missed a sitter, will be pretty satisfied with where they've ended up, with a minute of stoppage time left in the first half. Wolves 0, Manchester City 2. Haaland and Reinders the scorers. Muller-Wolf with a throw on this near side, midway inside his own half. Looking for someone to throw it to. He throws it short to Strand Larsen, who turns his man, who was Reinders. Gets it over the halfway line to Rickner Bellegarde. He does well to find a colleague, but then Wolves lose the ball. Oh, that was neat from Oscar Bob. Turned away from Strand Larsen, got tripped. We're in the final minute of the stoppage time at the end of the half. Manchester City with a free kick on halfway. Referee Gillet having a word with Strand Larsen. Well, 15 minutes ago, Pep Guardiola might have been preparing a completely different half-time team talk. It'll look a little different now that City are 2 to the good. Will the half-time whistle go as soon as the free kick's taken? Well, no, it looks like we're going to play another phase, and it's headed behind for a corner. Will there be time for the corner? No, there won't. City disappointed that there's no time for the set piece, but they won't be disappointed at the score, because they lead by 2-0, courtesy of a tap-in for Erling Haaland, and a lovely finish from the debutant, Tijani Reinders. All that came after Haaland had missed a sitter earlier on in the half when he headed over the bar with the goal gaping. Wolves have had a goal disallowed from Marshall Manetzi. It was offside, so the officials got that right. But a lot to do for Wolves, who look like they're going to fall foul of their August curse once more. Just one win in August since they were promoted in 2018. And they need something of a miracle to change that stat today. Half time, Wolves 0, Manchester City 2. on this Saturday in the Premier League, where 10 times Premier League champions Manchester City lead Wolves at half-time by 2-0 at Molineux, thanks to goals from Erling Haaland and their debutant Tijani Reinders, who's had a sparkling first half. The Dutchman signed from AC Milan over the summer. It was a good first half an hour for Wolves, and they had a goal disallowed from Marshall Manetzi for offside. But they'd frustrated Manchester City, who missed a sitter through Erling Haaland, who headed over an open goal essentially. But Haaland made up for it just beyond the half hour with a tap in after good work from Reinders and Rico Lewis. And then Reinders added the second himself with a lovely left foot shot across into the far corner. So a long way back for Wolves, who had this terrible record in August with only one win in 20 since they were promoted back to the Premier League. And they really are going to have to go some to do something about this. Vitor Pereira had a really good record last season where he had almost a 50% success rate, but it's not helping him so far this afternoon. Wolves have got us underway in the second half. They've played a long ball forward into Manchester City's left-hand side of defence. They've won a throw, so they've got a staging post. But from that throw, they've had to retreat back to the halfway line. Here is Agbadou. There doesn't seem to be any changes at half-time, so it's as you were. But here is Agbadou once more. And Totti Gomez gets the ball back to his goalkeeper, Jose Sarr. Here's Matt Doherty playing the ball down the right-hand side. It's a good ball. It's found Hoyvier, who gets it across. Here's a chance. Oh, they've bristled the side netting. Strand Larsen arrived right on cue. The man who scored 5 goals in 6 games in March and April as Wolves pulled clear of danger last year. He took it left-footed and it's bristled the side netting. It was probably more of a right-footed strike that was wanted. But Larsen got it onto his favoured left. Couldn't direct it on target. And that's as close as Wolves have come, really. Will that give them some encouragement at the start of this second half? Agbadou quickly established himself at the centre of Wolves' defence. Here's Hoyvier. Ball out for a throw. Hoyvier spent a lot of time out on loan since joining Wolves, most recently at Auxerre in France, but given the start at the beginning of this season. Ball's out on the far side. Muller Wolf was well forward. Played back into the centre circle. Wolves have started brightly in this first couple of minutes. They've dominated possession of the ball. Vitor Pereira would have been saying, if we get the next goal, we're back in the game. Let's not give away anything. And Pep Guardiola would have been warning his side that 2-0 can be dangerous. 6 of City's 8 away wins last year came by 2 or more goals, so they're on target for that. 7 of those away wins were against teams in the bottom half of the table, so that would suggest that they were always favourites for today as well. Here's Strand Larsen though, knocking the ball on to Hoyvier, and that's a good ball. Oh, it just can't be gathered in on the far side by Muller Wolf. He applauds the idea. He got forward well. Strand Larsen in the meanwhile has taken a late challenge from somebody. Oh, it's Ryan Aitnori, his former teammate, that's left one on him, we might say. And he seems to be in a lot of discomfort on the turf. They've turned him over onto his side and he's now rolled onto his back, but he had his head in hands for a while. Been treated. Seems to be a problem with his right foot. Nori was a little late. He's got away with that one, I think, because play had gone on and progressed. Made 157 appearances for Wolves, did Ryan Nori between 2020 and 2025. So, something of an irony that his first league game for City is back at his old stomping ground. Well, the two physios are feeding back some information to the bench. Strand Larsen still isn't on his feet. He's being helped up now. He looks rather... well, he's rather gingerly got to his feet. They won't want to lose him. He's their main strike threat. They've got Hwang Hee-chang on the bench, who was the last man to score a winning goal for Wolves against Manchester City in the victory in 2023. That was the only win that Wolves have managed in the last 10 encounters against Manchester City. But Hwang Hee-chang scored the winner there in the second half in a 2-1 success. Well, I think Strand Larsen is going to try and come back on the field. He's waiting for permission to re-enter the fray, so at the moment Wolves are a man light. But Manchester City haven't really come out of the dressing room at the start of this second half. They've given away another free kick. They've been a little sloppy at the start of this second period, which would have been just the thing that Pep Guardiola would have warned them against. So let's see if they can change that mentality now with Ruben Diaz. I don't think Strand Larsen is back on the pitch yet, so Wolves are still a man light. So it's obviously not a straightforward return to the field. So we might have to have a change of personnel. In the meantime, Manchester City just getting a few passes together just inside the Wolves half. They have the ball with Stones. Here is Nico Gonzalez, who's played out to the far side, and Oscar Bob, the City right. Back to Rico Lewis. Lewis sprays one from right to left. Doesn't get it over the head of Hoyvier, who clears as far as Manetzi. Manetzi clears into the Manchester City half, but it's going to come back because obviously Strand Larsen is the forward raider, but he's not on the field. Well, he's limped back on now and tried to put a challenge in. Still looks to be moving a little gingerly to me. Here's Rico Lewis on the far side for City. Dinks inside. Will it break for City again? They've dinked it across the box. Doku was cocking as if to have a shot. Didn't come to him. It came to Ryan Nori and he was off target. Well, that could have been trouble again for Wolves. City finding space down by the byline, just to the right of the goal as we look. In the end it came to nothing, but could have been dangerous. That's the first time City have really threatened in this second half. 7.5 minutes played in that second period here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Wolves 0, Manchester City 2. Manchester City loft the ball forward. Haaland couldn't get onto it, but it's broken for Bernardo Silva, who runs forward. Good tackling back though by Wolves, who've won the ball. Well, I don't think Vitor Pereira can fault his side for harrying an effort. They may lack a little in the class department compared to Manchester City's riches, but they're certainly putting their best foot forward. Mother Wolf is aghast that he hasn't won a throw over on the far side. Decision given to Manchester City. Here's Ruben Diaz. And now Ryan Nori being policed by Manetzi. Gets it out wide to Doku. Doku, instead of running at Hoyvier, plays it inside to Ryan Nori. He's hustled off it. Doku tries to tackle back, but Manetzi breaks out of the challenge. Here's Rick Bellegarde, he's bundled over. Well, that was blatant, I'm afraid, on the recovery run. And it means that Reinders, as well as a goal, has got himself a booking on his debut for Manchester City. That was a bit silly from Reinders. I'm not sure he needed to do that. I think there was plenty of cover behind him, but he's earned himself a yellow card. Whether that will lead to an early exit from the action, I don't know. Depends how much Pep Guardiola trusts him not to put in another rest challenge, because if you're 2-0 up, the last thing you want is to go a man down. That ball forward was looking for Højbjerg, but it skipped ahead of him. Went out on this near side. Throw to Manchester City. They've given the ball away again, though. Have the men in blue and white. All sloppy at the start of this second half. They were frustrated for half an hour in the first half as well. Played well in the last quarter of an hour. But it's been a bit fits and starts from Pep Guardiola's side. They won't worry too much if they go home with the points and a clean sheet. They just want to be a little bit careful that they don't give Wolves a sniff in this game. It's a throw to Wolves on the far side, about 10 yards inside the Manchester City half. Let's come back to Agbadou. Here's João Gomez. Gomez lofted forward now by Totti Gomez. Headed away by Ryan Nori, who contests another ball. Bernardo Silva tucks it back to Diaz. Diaz to the halfway line. Doku didn't take it in stride properly. That allowed Agbadou to get in half a clearance. Ball played forward again. And Haaland is penalised for bundling over Totti Gomez in his eagerness to get to the ball. I think that's a fair enough decision. So it'll be a free kick to Wolves. Haaland's had a strange game. He's not been in the action much. Missed a sitter in the first half. Got a tap in later in the half. But not done a lot other than that. Here are Wolves breaking forward with Højbjerg. He's played it to Manetzi. Manetzi across the area. Dangerous. Nobody could get a boot on it. It's been retrieved on the far side by Muller-Wolf. But he's being forced to retreat by Rico Lewis. Wolves still in possession though with Andre. Muller-Wolf went to make another run down the left-hand side. Didn't get the ball. Here is Rick Bellegarde lofting a ball into the penalty area, headed away by Stones, not gathered in though by Manchester City, who look a little bit off it in this half. Højbjerg. Wolves will feel if they can get one goal back here, they've got a chance. Because City are not on their mettle since the break, and they've given away another free kick. Bernardo Silva reacts angrily, but the foul is given on Manetzi. I think City were a little annoyed that the previous Wolves attack was not pulled up for offside against Strand Larsen. Reinders thought he'd stepped out in time to play the tall Norwegian offside, but the decision went with Wolves. They now have this free kick midway inside the City half, about 15 yards in from the near touchline. That's the Wolves' right, so they can bend the ball in here. Plenty forward. They can attack it. Oh, it's played down to Strand Larsen. It's a good ball. Strand Larsen tries to dink it over Trafford, who flicks it over the bar. That was a clever free kick. It was played down the right-hand side. Strand Larsen made a really good run. Ryan Nori made it difficult. It was lobbed towards goal and it would have crept in under the bar had Trafford not turned it over. So corner to Wolves, searching for a way back into the game. In it comes from Muller-Wolf, headed away to the edge of the area. Will they try and return it to the corner taker? They do. Muller-Wolf looks to take on Oscar Bob. Gets the ball into the box. It's hooked away by Nico Gonzalez. Wolves still have it on this far side with João Gomez. João Gomez to Tossi Gomez. And now Ripner Bellegarde. Agbadou was still well forward there, waiting for another ball back into the box, but didn't come. May come now, he's still forward. Olivier back to Doherty. Doherty in his second spell with Wolves after a period with Tottenham. He lofted that ball forward, didn't come to anything. John Stones looks to break out of defence and does well. Reinders now to Oscar Bob. Here's Rico Lewis. Inside to Nico Gonzalez. City slow the game down. Renate Nori to the left of the centre circle in his own half. Here's Ruben Diaz. Well, that's loose again from Diaz. Just about retrieved on this near touchline by Doku. It wasn't meant for Doku, it was meant for Ait Nori. He's been careless with his passing today as Ruben Diaz. Lofted forward by Trafford. Here is Reinders once more. Breaking forward. Oscar Bob. Reinders again. Can pull it back to the edge. Here's Haaland and that's 3. Beautiful goal by Manchester City. Tijani Reinders was a lot to do with that once again. Playing a little 1-2, bursting forward, pulling it back from the byline. And Haaland arrived on the edge of the box and rifled it in past Jose Sarr. 2 for Erling Haaland. A goal and an assist for Reinders. And Manchester City lead 3-0 as we tick just past the hour. That is a lovely, lovely goal. Trafford had chipped it out of defence. Reinders held off his man. Played a little 1-2 with Oscar Bob. Told him where he wanted the ball put back to him. Pulled it back to Haaland, and Haaland's finish with the left foot was unerring and fabulous. Sarr couldn't keep it out. And Manchester City lead 3-0. So Pep Guardiola's team on the way to 3 points to start the season. There's obviously been a little bit of a tete-a-tete between Strand Larsen and Rico Lewis from the restart. Gerard Guillet wants a word with both of them. Ruben Diaz has gone across to make petition for his player. Bernardo Silva and John Stones are rather too close to that scenario for comfort. I think maybe there was an objection. Well, while the goal celebrations were going on, Lewis and Strand Larsen were having a little bit of a spat just beyond the halfway line. Strand Larsen was wagging his finger at the young fullback. I'm wondering if Strand Larsen will come off in the wake of that goal, because I think he's still struggling with it with his injury. And really, you would feel that there's no way back now for Wolves in this game. Erling Haaland's now got 10 goals against Wolves, which is more than any other Premier League opponent. His first goal meant that he got 9 against Wolves, which was level with his total against West Ham. But now Wolves are the most scored against team in Erling Haaland terms, and he'll be sniffing a hat-trick before the end of this game, you would feel. Manchester City have the ball back on the far side, and they've won themselves a free kick. Lewis is bundled over right on the touchline, picks himself up. Manchester City are going to make some substitutions though, now that they're 3 to the good, and that makes some sense. They didn't have much of a pre-season, of course, because of their involvement in the Club World Cup, so a lot of their players will be a little bit undercooked in terms of match time. So to get some minutes in them while the points are surely safe won't be a bad thing from their perspective. Interesting to see who comes off. They may give Reinders a breather because he has been booked. But he's been wonderful today, he really has. Here's Trafford with a clearance from his own 6-yard box. Agbadou plays the ball back to Sarr, who whacks it forward. Does manage to find Gomez. Gomez to Rickner Bellegarde. Bellegarde races forward. Strand Larsen's outside. Muller-Wolf's outside him. He looked to play the ball into the box. Lewis blocked it. It went behind for a corner, so I don't think City will be making those substitutions while they're facing a set piece. Can Wolves get themselves on the board? Rickner Bellegarde is going to take the set piece. Agbadou and Totti are both well forward for this particular set piece. It's headed away at the near post though by Manchester City. Well, they tried to play it back to the corner taker, did Wolves, but didn't reach them. So after a good first half an hour for Wolves, it's all gone a little awry. Here come the substitutions for Manchester City. Matheus Nunes and Omar Marmoush are two of those waiting to come on. Bellegarde is hustling Lewis off the field. Lewis is doing his best to take as long as possible to take the short route. He was trying to take the long route right across the pitch, and the referee discouraged him from doing that, as he's not supposed to do, of course. Matheus Nunes is on in his stead, another ex-Wolves player, of course. Looks as if Jeremy Doku is another who's going to take his leave. Omar Marmoush is on in his place, and Bernardo Silva is coming off, so Reinders is going to stay on. Bernardo Silva comes off, saving his legs for another day. I think it's going to be Nick O'Reilly who's going to come on for him. They do a double high five as O'Reilly takes to the field. Very, very promising youngster who got quite a bit of game time last season. Nunes gets into the action straight away by taking the throw. Throws it onto a Wolves head though. Here is Doherty. Oh, has he been sold short? Well, he was sold short. Marmoush got a foot in. Doherty brought him down, and Doherty is booked. As I was saying about Doherty just a few minutes ago, he's in his second spell at Wolves. 320 games for them now. But in the book there for a lunge after he let the ball escape him. So a caution for the experienced centre-back come full-back. And Manchester City take the free kick. There is Ryan Nori breaking towards the byline. His cross is cut out. And Wolves try and run the ball away. Here's Andre. That's a good ball out to the left-hand side. Muller-Wolf has galloped forward into that space, as he likes to do. City have got players back behind the ball though. Wolves took too long to move that on, really. And City have their defensive shape once more. Here's Agbadou in the centre circle. Out to Hoyvier on the near touchline, the Wolves right. Back into a more central area. Totti Gomez. The Guinea-Bissau Portuguese-born, the Guinea-Bissau-born Portuguese international. Spent 18 months on loan at Grasshoppers after signing in 2020. He signed a 5.5-year deal last February, so he's going to be around for a while. Wolves are going to make some changes in a moment as well. Here is Totti Gomez. Wolves playing some short passes in and around the centre circle. All now played forward, looking for Muller-Wolf. He tried to reach it down by the byline, but shepherded out well by Matheus Nunes for a goal kick. He would have liked to have been starting ahead of Rico Lewis today, but Piers Lewis has got the nod for the start of the season. Perhaps Pep Guardiola just thought he was the better option for this fixture. We'll have to see as time goes on. Trafford to take the goal kick and takes it long. Up towards Erling Haaland, doesn't reach him, headed away by Wolves. Who have it back in their possession. Hoyvier gives it away though to Oscar Bob. Good to see him back after his broken leg that kept him out of much of last season. O'Reilly, he too gets a touch. Tall figure, O'Reilly. There's Diaz. Diaz to Stones. Stones once more picks it up from Trafford. Makes progress down the right-hand side of his own half. Exchanges passes with Bob. Plays it inside to Reinders. Stones again. Reinders picks it up off a Wolves foot. Feeds it out left to Ryan Aït-Nouri. Reinders has picked it up again. He's been everywhere today. That's Tijani Reinders. What a debut it's been. City have won themselves a free kick. They've taken it quickly. Here's Aït-Nouri once more. Reinders driving forward. Oh, he looked to play it to the feet of Haaland, but played it beyond him. Wolf clears down the left-hand side, but to nobody, nobody in particular, excuse me. And Manchester City have it back with John Stones. We've played 70 minutes here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Wolves 0, Manchester City 3. 2 for Erling Haaland and 1 for Tijani Reinders. Have put Manchester City firmly in control of the 3 points. It would take something cataclysmic to turn this one round now. Here is John Stones once more. And now Ryan Aït-Nouri. Well, they nearly got in a tangle there, did O'Reilly. He managed to get it to Nico Gonzalez, who was brought to ground, winning Manchester City a free kick. And we're going to have a quadruple substitution now for Wolves. Goodness me. Well, we seem to have Hugo Bueno on the sideline, coming on for David Miller-Wolf. He's done pretty well on debut, despite the fact that Wolves have shipped 3 goals. So Hugo Bueno comes into the fray on his behalf. Bueno, who's been with Wolves since 2022, but he spent last season on loan at Feyenoord. Still the substitutions continue. Hoyvier's come off and Andre as well. Taking a while to make these 4 swaps, it has to be said. And yeah, Hoyvier has definitely left us. Rodrigo Gomez has come on as well. And Ritner Bellegarde has also given way. So 4 substitutions at once in the 73rd minute for Wolverhampton Wanderers. We're seeing Jean Arias come on. Summer signing from Fluminense. He earned himself a nomination for Team of the Tournament at the Club World Cup. Erling Haaland's day is done as well. He's not going to get a hat-trick today. He has taken leave of the field with 17 minutes to go. And Rayan Cherki has taken his place. Another of the summer arrivals for Manchester City. Rayan Cherki brought into this team from Lyon on a 5-year deal. Well, Trafford nearly got himself in trouble on his own goal line then. He was being put under pressure. And City have given the ball away. Here's an opportunity. Good cross in too, headed away to the edge of the area. Manetzi picks it up, tries to get a shot off, appeals for handball by Wolves. But nothing given by referee Gillet, but Gillet has stopped play. Maybe VAR wants a look at this. Manetzi got a shot off. No, it's actually hit Ruben Diaz in the midriff. It's nowhere near his hand, in fact. So, but Wolves come again, looking to retrieve something from this game. It's come to Hugo Bueno. So it was Arias for Bellegarde, Rodrigo Gomez into the action as well. Hugo Bueno. So plenty of substitutions. Here's a chance. Good save by James Trafford, who motions to his defenders that they were sleeping. Strand Larsen hasn't given up getting himself on the score sheet. That was another shot from the Norwegian striker. He's worked hard up there. Wolves pick up the ball once more. It's with Fer Lopez, who was one of those 4 substitutes from a few minutes ago. Here come Wolves again on this right-hand side with Rodrigo Gomez. Gomez played it back inside. Doherty. Here's João Gomez trying to make progress, but he's running horizontally across the pitch at the moment. Got it out left to Bueno though. He's got a man on the overlap, doesn't use him. Tries to go outside. His man puts the ball into the box. Dangerous one, hooked away by Ryan Aït-Nouri. Wolves putting some pressure on here with their fresh legs. Doherty with the ball in. It's going to travel all the way to the far side, and Bueno across the box. Again, it's blocked. City under pressure for the first time in the game, really. Sustained pressure from the old Gold. Shot from distance, well, that's a bit of a waste. Not quite sure what I think it's Agbadou was thinking there. That was a wild lash. Strand Larsen's effort was a much better one from a few minutes ago from the left-hand side of the area. Right-footed. Tried to put it across Trafford into the far corner. Trafford got 2 strong hands on it. Palmed it away to safety. Trafford will now take the goal kick. He really is in a garish kit, this James Trafford. He's got pink boots to boot. Long kick from him, straight out on this near side for a throw to Wolves. They look to get the ball back in play quickly. Here's Agbadou to Jose Sarr. Sarr to Totti Gomez. Totti Gomez to Hugo Bueno. He's dispossessed though by Manchester City. Bueno gets a foot in though to retrieve his error. He's now gone galloping down the left hand side looking for a return pass. Didn't get it. John Stones is across to, Nico Gonzalez is across to whack it out of play for a throw. Wolves have it once more. Enjoying their best spell of the game at Wolves, but unfortunately they're 3 down before they've produced it. There's been no lack of effort though. Vitor Pereira will be able to know that his players gave him plenty, they just haven't been quite good enough to take on Manchester City. There are not that many people's favourites for the title this year. Liverpool seem to be favoured by most, Liverpool or Arsenal, but you can rest assured they won't be that far off come next May. Here is Ruben Diaz playing the ball forward from this left-hand touchline as City play. Nico Riley. That was a good hook forward as well by Manchester City. Here's Marmouche looking to take on his man, but Totti does well. Totti did really well. Because at one stage there he was second favourite for that ball. Well, that's a wild challenge by O'Reilly. That might be revisited by referee Gillet when play stops, because he's carried on because Wolves have the ball. Played the ball in here. Will it come down for Wolves? No, it won't, because Ryan Nori has stolen it off the boot of Rodrigo Gomez. Needs some help though to clear it. Here's Diaz. Well, the longer this goes on, the more O'Reilly's likely to get away with that challenge, because the referee might forget. But if it stops anytime soon, I think O'Reilly will be in the book. Here's Matheus Nunes, just inside the City half. City trying to take the sting out of that little period of Wolves' pressure. Tijani Reinders galloping down the right again. Exchanges passes with Bob. He's in again here, Reinders, but there's nobody in the penalty area. He put the ball across the box invitingly, but Marmouche was too far behind the play. One fancies if that had been Erling Haaland in the box, it might have been 4. They've got it again though, City. Shot comes in and now it is 4. What a lovely finish that is. Great finish by Ryan Cherky. So he's marked his debut with a goal as well. And Manchester City have 4. It's a lovely strike from just outside the box. Wolves didn't really clear it from the initial cross. Manchester City recycled it, and they found a 4th. Well, that might be a little harsh on Wolves, but Manchester City won't care about that. Ryan Cherky scores on his debut. The man newly arrived from Lyon. He was involved in the build-up to that goal as well. Played a lovely cheeky back heel to Nick O'Reilly. And when he got it back, he put it through the legs of the defender and beyond the reach of Jose Sarr. Good finish with his right foot, just from the edge of the D. Sarr couldn't reach it. It was at full stretch. Ryan Cherky points to the Manchester City badge to say to the fans, I'm here, I've arrived, and he's arrived in style. Wolves 0, Manchester City 4. Ryan Cherky with the 4th goal. Well, Hwang Hee-Chang is on for Wolves. Strand Larsen's finally given up for the day. I think he might be being troubled by that whack he got earlier on. Manchester City are making another change too. John Stones has seen the end of his action for the day. It may be Kusanov that's coming on in his place, and it is indeed. So Kusanov is on, Stones is off. We've got 8 minutes to go. And in the midst of all that, I don't think O'Reilly ended up in the book. He ended up with an assist, but so much time passed since his rather wild lunge that I think he got away without being booked. So there we are. When it's your day, I guess. Wolves have won a throw on the far side. Or did he get booked? Yes, he did. The referee did remember. I didn't actually see him show the yellow card, but he did show it. So an assist and a booking for O'Reilly, and that's quite right, because it was a wild foul. So well done to Gerard Guillet for remembering that after everything else that happened. Here is O'Reilly once more, linking up with Ryan Nori. Ball's not gone out of play, I don't think. We've got a Wolves player down on the ground who's in a little bit of pain. It might be Manetzi. But I think the ball's now gone out on the far side. It's a throw to Manchester City, which will be taken by Ryan Nori. A triumphant return to Molineux for him on his Manchester City debut. There's Kusanov. Oh, that's loose from Manchester City again. That may well have been Matheus Nunes. He's somewhat fortunately given a foul. I'm not sure there was a foul, but one has been given. Manchester City's next 4 fixtures: Spurs, Brighton, Manchester United and Arsenal. Well, that should tell us a little bit about their season. But Pep Guardiola will be quite happy about this one. 6 minutes to go, and his side 4 to the good. 2 debutants on the score sheet, 2 for Erling Haaland. Clean sheet so far. And you have the feeling that, for all that, City have not been at their best. And if you can not be at your best and win 4-0, what's not to like? Ball is out on the far side. It's going to be a throw to Wolves. Sure, it's going to be a throw to Manchester City, apparently, midway inside the half. I wondered why a Wolves player wasn't going over to take it. It's because it's a Manchester City throw, which has been thrown into the centre of the pitch, where Ignori retrieves it, sends it back to Diaz. Diaz has played a decent ball there for Ignori. Not all his balls have been decent today, but he's played a good one there. Here's O'Reilly, and now Diaz once more. O'Reilly, Ignori. Wolves a little frustrated now, wanting to get hold of the ball, try and do something with it. They feel the world is against them. But Manchester City, in the end, have proved irresistible. They've just had too much class to call on, really, for a Wolves team that, don't forget, lost Matheus Cunha as well as Ryan Ignori over the summer. And they are big holes to fill in that team. Remains to be seen if Vitor Pereira can work the oracle again and keep Wolves away from trouble. Here's O'Reilly. João Gomez does well, but City have won the ball back. Oscar Bob. Here's Reinders again on the edge of the area. He tries a shot, screws it wide. Well, it was worth a try. The way his day's gone, might have flown in the back of the net. Really has had a super debut. He'd be a strong candidate for man of the match, I think. Probably won't be top of the Fantasy Premier League points total because of his booking. But his booking apart, he really has been magnificent. Wolves play a ball forward, a long ball forward, and Chang is onto it. Can he make something of it? He's turning this way and that, but City have forced him out of the penalty area, but he's got the ball through to Fer Lopez. His shot was blocked out to the side, and Nunes puts it out for a throw down by the corner flag on the far side. So Wolves still trying for a goal, still trying to get something to take out of this game and to block Manchester City's clean sheet. There's Agbadou to this near side. Rodrigo Gomez forced away from goal by Omar Marmouche. Agbadou plays it square pass for Gomez out to the left-hand touchline. Bueno runs in field, gives it back to Gomez and to Totti Gomez, and that's too long. It's an easy one for James Trafford. Just over 2 minutes of normal time remaining here at Molineux on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Wolves 0, Manchester City 4. An emphatic win in the end for Manchester City. Ball played up the touchline. Can't keep it in, Oscar Bob. This will be a good 90 minutes for him after all his injury issues. Here's Agbadou. Swings it out to this near side, just about kept in by Rodrigo Gomez. But across comes Ryan Aït-Nouri, gets it back to his goalkeeper. Aït-Nouri seems to have gone down hurt, having played that ball back.
Manchester City venture forward with Matheus Nunes. Ball is out of play. Nori picks himself up, limping a little on his left foot. May have gone over slightly awkwardly. I don't think there's any long-term damage to that. We're playing out the death throes of this game. Manchester City have the points in the bank. Here is Cherky, who scored the 4th goal. Lovely little 1-2 with Reinders. Cherky runs through the centre circle. Plenty forward for City. Cherky still going. Oh, played the ball to his left. Should have been left to go through to Reinders, but Marmouche got in the way. Reinders retrieved it. Wolves are now back behind the ball. But if Marmouche had got out of the way of that, I think Reinders would have scored again. Here is Marmouche once more, breaking into the edge of the penalty area. He goes down and the referee says it's a free kick right on the edge. Well, I think Marmouche thought it might have been a penalty. But it's right on the edge of the box. Let's have a look at this again. Gets through. Yeah, there goes the challenge. The challenge is actually outside the box. So I think the officials have got that one right. Yeah, he stood on his foot just outside the box. He fell inside. But it will be a free kick. 7 minutes of stoppage time. That's not what you want to see if you're Wolves and you're 4 down already. You really don't. Omar Marmouche is round the free kick, as is Ruben Diaz. Jose Sarr keeping it professional, trying to sort out his wall. It's literally a foot outside the box and probably a yard in from the left edge of the D. So you would have thought they'd want to drill one low because it would be difficult to get it up and down from there. Wolves know that, and they've got a player laying down behind the 5-man wall. It's Arias who's lying on the ground. Agbadou has planted himself in the middle of the wall. Tricky to get them down, but Marmouche tries and hits the wall. Comes back to Reinders. He goes for the corner. Overhits it. And it's out for a goal kick. Reinders wants something else. I think they felt that the original free kick had struck an arm. But I don't think that's going to be given. Just over a minute into the 6 minutes added on. Wolves 0, Manchester City 4. A rampant performance from Manchester City in the end. They've not been absolutely at their best. They certainly weren't in the first half an hour. And they started the second half a little carelessly. But you can't gripe too much if you've got 4 goals and a clean sheet. They've got 5 minutes to protect that clean sheet. Long ball forward from Wolves. Matheus Nunes gets onto it down by his own corner flag. He's being harassed by 2 Wolves players, but City play themselves out of trouble. And if they move it quickly here, Wolves might be in big bother. They didn't move it quickly enough. Diaz and Ryan Nori got in each other's way. So the ball was played back to Trafford, who starts City off again from the back. Nico Gonzalez, that was a very cheeky turn, and he's given the ball away. He says he was fouled and he's still down on the ground. But Wolves have picked the ball up. They can put a ball into the box, and they do so. It's headed away from the edge. Wolves have it again though. Here is Rodrigo Gomez across the area, headed away to the edge. Hugo Bueno, shot comes in from Fer Lopez, but Trafford is down to save, and he now points to the referee and says Gonzalez is down injured. Gonzalez is still down. I think he may have damaged his hamstring in the midst of all that, although he's pointing to his arm. Maybe he's gone down on his elbow. Let's have a look. Did he fall very awkwardly on the... Oh, dear me. He fell very awkwardly on the left arm. Hopefully he's not put the shoulder out. Could be the elbow. But the physios are on. But Manchester City look like registering a first, well, they will register a first away win of the season against Wolves here. Wolves lost 8 of their 11 Premier League games last year when they started as outsiders, and they've started that trend again. There is some applause going on in the 94th minute from the Wolves faithful. I'm not sure what that's supposed to signify. Vitor Pereira, the 57-year-old, in discussion with his backroom staff. Did a wonderful job here last year. 12 wins, 3 draws and only 10 defeats after he took over the reins to get Wolves out of trouble. But that may not help him if he starts this season badly. It looks as if Nico Gonzalez is going to come off. That left arm is causing him a lot of trouble. Seems to be around the area of the elbow. Let's hope that's not a serious problem. With Rodri not quite back to full fitness, Gonzalez would be his sitting midfielder of choice. So perhaps one thing for Pep Guardiola to worry about. Well, we were going to have 7 minutes of stoppage time anyway. We've had 5 of those, but most of those have been with Nico Gonzalez being treated. He's gone off to the sideline. I'm not sure that Manchester City have got any more substitutes to bring on, so they may actually finish this game with 10. But we'll see. I think they can afford to. They're 4 goals to the good. Here's Agbadou in the centre circle. Ball played forward out to this right-hand side. Rodrigo Gomez is challenged by Rayan Aït-Nouri. 2 players come together again. Aït-Nouri's trying to shepherd the ball over the dead ball line. He can't do that, so plays it off a Wolves foot for a throw down by the corner flag. Well, the Wolves fans are standing by their team and showing great support, despite the fact that their team has been beaten 4-0. Well, certainly as it stands, has been beaten 4-0. But they're not going to be discouraged on day 1 of the season. I think most people, most of them probably thought setting out today that they might end up tonight with no points. This won't be a game that defines their season, I don't suppose. Here is Agbadou swinging it to Rodrigo Gomez. Now João Gomez, centre field, midway inside the City half. Good ball out to the left-hand side. Can they get a decent ball in from the left? Maybe they can. Still Bueno. He's won a corner. He's won a corner in what's supposed to be the last minute of added on time, but I think there'll be a little bit more because of the injury to Nico Gonzalez. Well, the banners are out again for Jota and Andre Silva, his brother, as Wolves remember a former player of old gold. Well, City have won a throw. We're into the 8th minute of added on time now. Surely referee Gillet won't play much more. There doesn't seem to be a great deal of point. Wolves could do with him having mercy on them, really. Even though they're now playing against 10 men because Gonzalez hasn't come back on the field. But it's City who are breaking forward, looking for a 5th at the end. Cherky, little back heel. O'Reilly can't get onto it though. Wolves will clear into the 9th minute of added on time. And the referee decides that that's enough. Well, in the end, an emphatic win for Manchester City. Erling Haaland missed a sitter in the first half, in which Munetsi had a goal disallowed for offside for Wolves. But Haaland atoned with a tap-in to start the scoring. And Tijani Reinders got his first goal for Manchester City on debut. when he fired home with his left foot 4 minutes later to make it 2-0 at the break. City started the second half slowly, but Reinders broke forward again on the right-hand side of the box and pulled it back for Haaland to get his second, and there was still time for Rayan Cherki to rise from the bench and mark his debut with a goal as well. So Wolves' wretched run in August continues. They've still only got one win since being promoted in 2018, so they're yet to lay that curse. Pep Guardiola's side, as they often do, have started with a win. Wolves 0, Manchester City 4. Thanks for enjoying it with us and for your company.
Feels like a
Untoz Sports is sponsored by Temu. Shop like a billionaire. Use our code to get 100 euros in coupons.
dream, feels like magic.
Here the game never stops. From the locker room to the pitch, from tactics to epic moments, everything that happens in football is here. Untoz Sports. Live the game. Subscribe now and get in the game.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich. I feel like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I get it straight from the makers. I'm shopping like a billionaire.
Use our code to receive 100 euros coupons and free gifts.
Life, like the beautiful game, is a series of first time. From my first pair of boots to my first goal. Crypto is a change in the game and it's time to get on board. After all, it's a first time for everything.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Now I believe I can have it. Temu, Temu. All of my wishes came true. Shop like a billionaire. Shop like a billionaire. Temu.
Use our code to receive 100 euros coupons.
Here the game never stops. From the locker room to the pitch, from tactics to epic moments, everything that happens in football is here. Untoz Sports. Live the game. Subscribe now and get in the game.
Feels like a
Untoz Sports is sponsored by Temu. Shop like a billionaire. Use our code to get 100 euros in coupons.
dream, feels like magic.
Relacionamento sem crush nem ficante.
Quem nasceu pra ser fiel?
Nunca vai ser amante.
Todo mundo